Namaste. Hello dear students, welcome back to online classes brought to you by Vivekananda PU College. I am Suprit Kesi. In today's class, we are beginning with a new chapter, chapter number 15th is biodiversity. Fine. So this is a very interesting chapter, as well as you can correlate this concept with the whatever experiences you have with your nature. Dear students, the biodiversity, even the term is looking very similar to us, but it has got its deep meaning. Biodiversity is a term which involving a huge meaning, nothing but biodiversity can be defined as it is a sum of total species richness in a particular area. Say you have taken one ground where you can find different kind of organisms, different variety of an organism. You can find many more variations. You can find taller trees, right? Very small shrubs, herbs, etc. You can find flying animals as well as crawling animals. These are all the species richness in a particular area. That is nothing but your biodiversity. Biodiversity can be defined as it is a sum total of species richness in a particular area. Sum total of species richness. Sum total of species richness. That's all. Species richness. Sum total of species richness is known to be the biodiversity. Okay. Or you can define it in another way. It is a sum total of all life forms in a particular area. I repeat, it is a sum total of all the life form in a particular area known to be the biodiversity. Either you can relate with the species richness, meaning is same, all life forms in a particular area, that is also same. This is known to be biodiversity. This word, the term called biodiversity, is coined by Edward Wilson. Okay, Edward Wilson, and he has classified the term of biodiversity in a three major way. Just classified that. One is the genetic diversity. I repeat, genetic diversity. Second one is species diversity. Third one, ecological diversity. Just three classifications you have under biodiversity: genetic diversity, species diversity, ecological diversity. Okay. What I exactly mean by genetic diversity? What do you mean by species diversity? All the questions you may have. Dear student, we will solve one by one. First, I am taking genetic diversity. What is genetic diversity? Genetic diversity is nothing but genetic variations of the animals. Genetic variations of organism belongs to the same species. What it is? It is a genetic variations of an organism belong to same species is called as a genetic diversity. Genetic variations, variation in the genes. Genetic variations of the organism belongs to the same species. Can you give me an example? Definitely. In Himalayan region or Himalayan habitat, I can find an plant called as Rainforest vomitoria. Okay, this is the plant Rainforest vomitoria. It is a plant I can find in a Himalayan habitat or Himalayan ground. This is a medicinal plant. Okay, this is a medicinal plant. This plant producing or synthesizing and producing the chemical is called as a reserpine. See, reserpine. It's a chemical produced by the plant known as Rainforest vomitoria. I can find difference of concentration of reserpine as well as the distribution of a reserpine in the plant body. I repeat, I can find the difference in the concentration of a reserpine as well as the distribution of reserpine on the plant body. Okay. For a plant it varies wherever the habitat ground, according to the habitat ground, the concentration and the distribution of this chemical varies. Why? Because of genetic variation. Do they belong to same species? Exactly, they belong to same species, but there is a difference. Why there is a difference? Because of genes. Genes, whatever responsible for the production of rhizospine, play a vital role here. This is about Rolfia vomitoria. Okay. Say in human we have a races like African we have Mongoloid we have, okay, Mongoloid we have. All these are our own differences. They all belong to particular species only, but there is a difference. There is a difference. Nothing but genetic diversity, because of in our skin tone or in our higher potential or muscle strength, whatever it is, we have got our own differences. Those differences is because of the genes. That is why the genetic diversity name here. Fine. You can take a cattle breed of Indian ox, where we can find Hallikar variety, right? Hallikar variety I can find. Then Hallikar, Sindhi, yes, Sindhi, and Amrit Mahal. These are all the different varieties of ox or cattle breeds in India. Do they belong to same species? Yes, but there is a difference. There is a difference in the genes. So the name here, genetic diversity. Genetic diversity. Okay. In our India, we have nearly, if I take a total huge values, I can find almost 5,000 varieties of rice. Even I can find 1,000 varieties of mango. Yeah, we have. Okay. Can I write here? Okay. 5,000 varieties of rice and 1,000 varieties of mango. Where? In India only, not in the world. In India, I can find these much of differences, these much of varieties I can find. Okay. This is the best example for genetic diversity. Okay. The next thing we are going to look on is a species diversity. Species diversity. Name says itself, there is a difference of species. What is that? We will see. Okay. Species diversity. What is a species diversity? Species diversity. Okay. Variety of a species, if I can find in a particular area, known to be the species diversity. Variety of species. Varieties of species. Varieties of species is known to be the species diversity. I have got different varieties of species, right? Say you take one particular frog, it is an animal, frog. It has got many varieties, right? Many species I can find in a frog. Many species. Varieties of a species, okay, you can find in a particular ground is known to be the species diversity. Varieties of species. Then what do you mean by ecological diversity? Okay, different ecosystems or different habitats, okay, in a particular area known to be the ecological diversity. Even you can find desert, right? Deserts you can find, okay. Alpine forest you can find, right? Even you can find estuaries. Tropical forest you can find. Tropical forest, okay, sea coast. All these habitat has got its own particular species even, but based on the ecosystem, based on the habitat, I can categorize my biodiversity into as ecological diversity. These are the examples: desert, alpine forest, estuary, sea coast and tropical forest. These are all the types of biodiversity. Okay. I repeat, genetic diversity, species diversity as well as ecological diversity. Fine? Cleared? Okay. Let us see what is the biodiversity pattern in India. How many biodiversity we have in our India or in the world? How many species richness we have? Okay. We are going to see that. How many species of plants and animals we have in the world? How many in our country? We are going to see. How many plants and animals how many plants and animals, okay, in our biosphere, okay, animals in our biosphere, okay. According to IUCN, nothing but international union, it is an international union, for conservation of nature and natural habitat. In 2004, okay, they have given, we have 1.5 million species in our biosphere. How much? 1.5 million biosphere, 1.5 million species in our biosphere. IUCN, the expandable form of IUCN is a International Union for Conservation of nature and natural resource, not habitat, sorry, natural resource, resource. In 2004, they have said we have 1.5 million in our biosphere. According to one sociobiologist, Robert May, he has said we have around 7 million species, different kind of a species we have in our biosphere. He has said once, okay, Robert May has said once, we have nearly 7 million, okay, different kind of a species in our biosphere. I repeat, sociobiologist Robert May, he has said that we have got nearly 7 million different species in our biosphere, but IUCN said only we have 1.5 million species richness in our biosphere. That is the case. Okay. If I take the different species, how much species, whatever the species number, how much species I have in my biosphere as a whole as 100, if I say it is 100, whole as 100% total strength, okay, then out of 100, 70% of the organisms are animals, okay. Here 22% of organisms are plants, rest are your microbes, whatever the left behind things. 70% are animals, 22% are plants, the remaining are whatever we have not noticed. Fine. If I take this 70% of an animal as 100, okay, if I take this 70% animal as 100%, as whole as 100%, then 70% of this 100%, 70% will be dominated by insects. Insects, 70% will be dominated by insects. Fine, I repeat, okay. Sociobiologist, he has said that, Robert May, he is a very famous sociobiologist, he has said that we have 7 million organisms, species richness we have in our biosphere. But IUCN, what they said? They said in 2004, they have calculated in their own way, and they said we have 1.5 million in our biosphere. Okay. In the case here if I take all the plants and animals in our biosphere as a whole, out of 100%, 70% of those organisms are animals, 22% are plants. Fine, I repeat, 70% animals are 70% of the whole as animals, they are animals, 22% are plants. If I take this 70% as a whole as 100%, then in that 70% will be dominated by the insects. 70% will be dominated by insects. This is the story. Okay. Fine. Dear students, you must know here, okay, even our India, our country, okay, compared to our globe land area, we are very small, right? Okay, we have taken only 2.4% of land area compared to our world. We have only 2.4% of land area. Okay, land area. But even though in this small number, we have got 8.1% of species richness compared with the world. We have 8.1 species richness comparing with the world. So, our country is known to be the one of the mega biodiversity countries, known to be one of the mega diversity countries in the world. Okay. Even though we have very small land area, 2.4%, but comparing with the world, we have a species richness of 8.1%. So, we Indian, we are very proudly say we have belonged to mega biodiversity countries in the world, one of the mega biodiversity countries in the world. Okay. This is a story. Fine. Right now, I am entering to pattern of biodiversity. Okay. This much is over. We will be moving towards the next concept, pattern of biodiversity. Pattern of biodiversity. Pattern biodiversity. Pattern of biodiversity. Okay. So, in pattern of biodiversity, we are discussing where we can find highest organisms, highest species of organism, where we have very high species richness, okay, in which part we can have that, all those things we are going to see here. Okay. Pattern of biodiversity. You take a globe, fine, take globe, this is a globe, okay, this is the equator. If you move from equator towards the pole, this is the pole. If you move towards the equator to the pole, species richness decreases. Species richness decreases. Species richness decreases. decreases. Why species richness decreases, dear students? Because the comfort zone is getting decreasing. Here pole, no? Very cold climate, not able to survive more. So, here the comfortable zone is decreasing. In the equatorial zone, we will be having highest supply of sunlight. Okay? If you move towards the pole, the sunlight is getting lower, intensity become light, and here you do not find any comfortable zone. Whatever the organism can able to adapt to the particular poles or particular icy ground, they can able to survive, but not all the organisms. Okay. From the pole, if I take the calculations like 33.5 degrees north and 33.5 degrees south, here I can find a greatest amount of species richness, great species richness, great species richness, great species richness. Okay. As you move from the equator to the pole, you can find the decreasing in the distribution as well as the presence of species richness. This is known to be the latitudinal gradient. Okay, latitudinal gradient, latitudinal gradient, okay, latitudinal gradient. Why this is known to be the latitudinal gradient? From the equator to the pole, you can find the distribution of organism which is coming very low, down. Here you will be having great mass, here you will be having less number, less. Okay. This is a latitudinal gradient. Fine. In this area where I can quote 33.5 degree north, 33.5 degree south, I can find Amazon rainforest, In this region, in this Amazon rainforest region, I can find a great amount of different kind of a species, because this Amazon rainforest has got its own comfortable zone. How? See, dear students, it is receiving greatest amount of sunlight, it is receiving higher amount of rain, as well as there is no much threat. Okay, all living organisms are living their life very peacefully in a comfortable zone, so that these Amazon rainforest is known to be the safest place as well as holding the greatest species diversity in the world. Okay, in the world. Who? Amazon rainforest. Okay. In Amazon rainforest, you can find nearly 40,000 different species of plants, 40,000 different species of plants, as well as nearly how much? 3,000 different species of fishes, 1,300 different species of birds, yeah, 1,300 different species of birds. Nearly 427 reptilians, different reptilians, 427, as well as 378 this is 427 amphibians, 378 reptilians, different species of 427 different species of amphibians I can find, as well as I can see 378 different species of reptilians too, where in Amazon rainforest. This is important, this number is important, 40,000 plants, 3,000 fishes, 13,000 sorry 1,300 species of birds, 427 amphibians, 378 reptiles. Even I can see 1,25,000 different species of invertebrates. Invertebrates. Where? In Amazon rainforest. 1,25,000 different species of invertebrates also I can find. So that Amazon rainforest is known to be the one of the greatest biodiversity area. See the number, huge number, 40,000, 3,000, 1,300, 427, 378, 1,25,000. Look at the species richness. Okay, this is coming nearly in a tropical region. Fine. This is about Amazon rainforest as well as the latitudinal gradient. Fine. You may have the question, right? Why this tropical region which holds your Amazon rainforest has got this huge amount of species richness? How only in that particular area these much of segregation you can find? You can ask me, right? Dear students, in this area, see, in tropical area, as I told you, this is a very comfortable zone, right? I can find great amount intensity of sunlight as well as very comfort zone because of the presence of our huge huge intensity as well as the huge rain pattern. Because of that, this rainforest holding a huge amount of species richness. Okay, this is a reason, and another very important reason for huge amount of species richness in this area is because this region is supplied with a great amount of sunlight and water, okay, continuously. One is that, means what? You will be having great amount of resource. Because of great amount of resource, you can find comfortable life there. So the organism will expand more and more. Because of that expansion, definitely you can find the huge species richness, correct? That is the one case. And this area remain undisturbed from the long period of time, undisturbed from the long period of time, so that there will be a great amount of evolution, so that I can find a huge amount of species richness. Okay. Here you can find very less distinct amount of seasons. Okay, there is no proper distinct season. Okay, so anytime rain may occur, anytime you will be having higher intensity of sunlight. Okay, because of that there is no a particular season there. Because of that, these plants or animals getting a comfortable life because of the provisions of resource all the time, from all the time, so that you can find a highest species richness. Organism find niche in this region. Niche means it is a very comfortable zone to survive. Okay, comfortable zone. Okay, you can find niche. Okay, these are the reason. They will be having great resource and they remained undisturbed for the particular time, from the particular time, and there is no distinct seasons. So these area which holding your Amazon rainforest or tropical area, they holding highest amount of species richness. Okay, this is the reason why this area getting a highest amount of species richness. Okay. I think this much is enough for you today. Next class we are going to discuss the continuing part of this, where we will be discussing about species area relationship, which is very important. We will discuss in the next class. Okay. This much is enough for you today. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Okay. Stay at home, stay safe and take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.